Hello, fellow collectors, and welcome to Long's Toys. I am here in fabulous Oaks, Pennsylvania for Retrocon. Really fantastic show. Usually has some great 80s and 90s toys, fun guest panels, all that good stuff. So I'm heading in. Check it out. So I did it again. I went to Retrocon with every intention of taking a lot of video to show you guys what was going on, but when I got in there, it was very crowded, it was very loud, it was kind of hard to take video where I wasn't in people's way, and you could actually hear what I was saying. So instead I just took a bunch of pictures. So when I first got there, of course, started looking at all of the toys, a lot of cool stuff. The first thing I saw, a bunch of spy changers from my friend Corey. He's a huge fan of these, so I made sure to text him right away and see which ones he needed. I did pick up a bunch of those for him. Next up, I saw a really cool old thruster, which is the Renegade base from GoBots, which I always thought was really cool. I actually have one. I had one as a kid, and I don't know if it got thrown away or whatever when I was little, but I was able to get another one on eBay years ago. Not complete, but pretty close. But this one was actually in the box still, and I just really like all the old artwork on the boxes and packaging. I think that's really, really cool. Next up, I saw a bunch of Definitely Dinos, which is a line that I had one as a kid. A lot of times when you're a kid, you have like one of this line or one of that line because people just buy you random stuff for your birthday and things like that. And Definitely Dinos was one that I think my aunt gave me, this large blue Brontosaurus. And my mom always told me, oh, this is, really nice. You have to keep this. It's going to go up in value. So I still have it. But this was a bunch of stuff I had never really seen the packaging before, so I thought that was really cool. They didn't have the one that I have, but I saw a bunch of the other ones, which was actually really cool to see. Next up, there was this Naboo Starfighter from episode 1 back in '99, and this is a huge ship. It said it was 3 feet long when it was fully assembled. I didn't even know this thing existed, but it's a really cool playset. The guy had it still sealed, and I forgot to take a picture of the actual one that I saw at the show, so I'm just inserting a picture I found online here. But it was really, really neat. It was $300, which I think was a fair price, but I just couldn't pull the trigger on it. I came back and looked up videos for it when I got home, and I'm kind of glad I didn't get it because it looks like the stickers don't really hold up and a lot of other things. Like I said, it's just so big. So I ultimately passed on it, but it's really, really cool, and I really wanted it in the moment, but I think I made the correct decision there. And the last thing I took a picture of here is Swindle, G2 Swindle, which is like the only G2 Combaticon I actually had back in the day. I found it at a store called Jamesway, which we have here in the Northeast, not anymore, years ago. And so I actually remember finding this on the shelf, so when I saw it again in the packaging, a huge nostalgia rush. So I thought that was really cool, and I decided to take a picture of that. Speaking of Swindle, someone at the show actually had a yellow Jeep in the parking lot that was decked out to look like Swindle. It had purple rearview mirrors and a Decepticon symbol on the hood. I thought that was really cool, so I threw that pic in here. And that's kind of a good segue into the next segment I want to talk about. There was a lot of really cool cosplay at this show. A lot of Star Wars stuff. I think there's a group that actually, I think they're called the 501st or something like that, where it's like a troupe that always does Star Wars cosplay. So there's a lot of cool stuff. The Emperor here, he looked really good. Someone was in a Chewie costume and he was really tall. He must have been on stilts. So he looked fantastic, and I loved getting a picture of him. Next up, we had Sabine. It was a really good costume. I grabbed a picture of her before the place got flooded. She was kind of standing around in the booth area that they had for this cosplay group. And then there was Mando, the Armorer, and another Mandalorian. They all looked fantastic. Mando had, I think he had a little Grogu in like a satchel that he was wearing around the side, and that was really cool. So there was a ton of really great cosplay at the show. Now, when the show was over on Saturday night, there was a concert, and it's actually a band called the Cybertronic Spree. I think they're from Canada. They've been around a lot. They've been coming to Retrocon for years, and they dress up like Transformers. They have really fantastic costumes. I think there's a Hot Rod, there's an RC, there's a Rumble, a Shockwave, a Quintesson, and I think Unicron is the last one. And they just look absolutely fantastic. They play like the entire soundtrack of the '86 movie, which is really cool. But was really cool this year, Stan Bush was one of the guests at the show, and he got on stage and sang The Touch and Dare, which was amazing to see him perform that live. So I thought that was really, really cool. I couldn't get the best pics. I was kind of all the way in the back, but I kind of got, like, you can see his little head. But he was great, still sings those songs absolutely incredibly, so I was really excited to see him perform them live. And then towards, like, kind of the middle of the show, from one of the side doors, someone in an Optimus costume came out with two guys dressed as Sparkplug and Spike. And so they were just kind of posing for a while, and eventually they walked around past me and they kind of walked towards the stage. He didn't actually get up on stage with the rest of the band, but kind of stood off to the side, and they were kind of like, he was kind of part of the show. I don't think he's part of the band, but they were kind of trying to incorporate him. It was a fantastic Optimus costume, so it was really, really, really cool. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the show. It was a really nice show. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys what I actually picked up. A couple of decent things, so let's go ahead and check out my haul from the show. So really, these are picked up for somebody else. These are for my friend Corey. He is a huge Spy Changer fan, and I found these at the show, and so I texted him real quick, and he was like, yes, please pick them up for me. And these are Spy Changers that were done during Universe, and they were repainted into other characters. So this was Sideburn or Speedbreaker, but now repainted into Jazz. And then I think here we have X-Brawn or Wild Ride done as Hoist. And then I'm not sure exactly who this one was. I think this might have just been one of the others, but repainted as Silver Streak. Unless this was Prowl / Mock Alert, but I don't think so, because they kind of had two police cars. These two were released later on towards the end of Robots in Disguise just as new Spy Changers. I think this one had an orange color scheme, and this was like a police color scheme. So they did this as Prowl, and they did this as Wheeljack, even though Wheeljack is not really this kind of car whatsoever. But just some fun Spy Changer repaints that I picked up here for my friend Corey. Alright, so first up for myself, I found these three Action Masters. I've kind of been like remembering how much I loved Action Masters as a kid. I had a few, not a ton, just kind of ones that, you know, parents bought for me or I got for birthday parties, usually single releases. I unfortunately don't really have any of the characters that came with the larger vehicles and things like that, but I was able to find Wheeljack, Soundwave, and Snarl, and then I went on eBay when I got home and I actually found Wheeljack's car for a decent price, so that actually should be here tomorrow, so I'm excited for that. They're pretty good shape, honestly. The legs are a little loose. Wheeljack's not too bad, but Snarl, I think, is the worst, and Soundwave's not too bad. They didn't have any accessories, so they don't have any guns or their little transformable partners, unfortunately. But I wanted to find some Action Masters. I was really looking through the whole show, and I just wasn't finding anything, and then towards the end of the day, I found these three, so I decided to grab them. Next up, I found this McChangeable from Series 1, still sealed. This is the Quarter Pounder. You can see the little robot that he transforms into there. This was only a couple bucks, and if you guys know me at all, I'm a huge fan of the McChangeables, and I don't see many still sealed. So I decided to go ahead and grab this one because I thought it was pretty cool. I'll probably keep it sealed. I may already have this one, honestly. At some point, I really need to just kind of get all of my McChangeables together and find out which ones I'm actually missing. But I found this one sealed for a couple bucks. I thought it was a pretty good deal. Up next, I have these two figures. I'm a huge fan of the Marvel Universe line, and unfortunately, I just did not really collect a lot of it while it was still out. And I love the character of Angel, and this is my favorite suit that he's ever worn. I didn't even really know this existed. I just kind of found it. Now you can see he's got 30 on it, but I was able to get it from 20, so I thought that was a pretty good deal. And yeah, I just really like this line. Like I said, I wish I had bought more of it. And this figure looks absolutely fantastic. You can see here on the cross sell, we got Hercules, Nighthawk, and Nova. 3 I will probably never have, but they did have a little number, so Series 4, number 21. So really excited to grab this. And then over here was something I didn't really know existed. So I've heard of the Animal Warriors of the Kingdom, but they're all 6-inch figures now. And what I didn't know was they did a 4-inch line before they did the 6-inch line. And so the guy at the booth who had these, he was ready to start collecting the 6-inch ones, so he wanted to get rid of his entire 4-inch collection. And I've never seen these. I just wanted to kind of get one to try it. I think he had 40 on this one, but he gave it to me for 20 because I think he had like 3 or 4 of the same guy. So yeah, I just wanted to get one to try. You know, I love 3 3/4 inch, 4-inch figures. And I had no idea that this line was done as 4-inch figures before 6-inch. So I've always thought they kind of looked neat, but I just didn't really want to get into a new 6-inch line. So kind of excited, and if this turns out to be awesome, I'll definitely have to check out some more of them as I knock it over completely. There we go. So I decided to grab this episode 1 Flash Speeder. Earlier in this video, I talked about the Royal Naboo Cruiser that I was really considering, but it was just too much and I just couldn't do it. So this was kind of my consolation prize. Still sealed, which is really, really cool. And the thing about this, like Power of the Force and episode 1 stuff from the 90s, it has not really appreciated in value at all. So I did buy a couple and put them away back in the day thinking, oh, maybe they'll be worth something. They're not. But it is kind of nice because that way, if you still want to get some of these, they're still relatively cheap, pretty much retail price. I think I paid 20 bucks for this. Like I said, it's still sealed. Just a cool looking vehicle. No figures are included, but you know, it's got some cool stuff going on here. You can store a couple figures, and I just always thought this was kind of a cool little speeder. So the price was right, and was kind of my consolation prize for not grabbing the Naboo Royal Cruiser, the Nabruiser, as I'm calling it apparently. So yeah, this was kind of my consolation prize, but just a fun little pickup. So the last thing I have here is not really from the show, but there was a Wendy's nearby. That's where we went for lunch, and Wendy's is doing these little DC blind box figurines. And so I decided to get 3 of them, and I just thought I'd open them here just to check them out. So you can see here it says collect all 6 sets. As far as I know, these figures inside are one color. They're almost kind of like muscle figures or Monster in My Pocket, something like that. But they're definitely shown fully painted here, which I do not believe they are inside. So yeah, it does say which color will you get. So let's just go ahead. Let's check them out. Alright, so I got some purple ones, and I believe they have these little cards over here. So, how does this work? These slide out. So we've got Aquaman, Mera, and Black Manta. So that's kind of cool. They're kind of, you know, they make sense to be grouped together, which I appreciate. And I think the little cards are cool with the little sleeve. So I guess, okay, so these sets are put together in a way that the characters go together. That makes sense. I think that's nice. So they're just fun little figurines. They have no posability or anything like that. Just kind of a solid plastic. So we got Aquaman, Mera, and Black Manta. So kind of cool. Just some fun little figurines. Let's go ahead and get on to the next box. Black Manta doesn't really want to stand up all that well. I'm sure he's going to fall over. We'll see how it goes. Okay, so let's go ahead and open up. Then there they go. The second box here. And it looks like they're red. And they are... Oh, okay. This looks like Cyborg. Who's Cyborg with? Okay, Wonder Woman and Cheetah. So let's go ahead. Let's take a look at these cards. So yeah, we have Wonder Woman, we have Cyborg, and we have Cheetah. And it looks like they have little info on the back. Real name, location, abilities, gear. It's kind of cool. I also just really like the animation style. The artwork style, I should say. Pretty cool. Pretty cool little cards there. So we have Wonder Woman, Cyborg, and Cheetah. And seeing as how the other ones didn't stand, we'll just leave them there. And then moving on to our last set. Okay. We got some more red ones. Oh, looks like we got Batman, maybe? Yes. So this is Batman, Nightwing, and Catwoman, if I had to guess. Let's check the cards. Yeah, so there we got Batman, Nightwing, and Catwoman. I'm just excited I didn't get any duplicates because they are blind bags. So, very excited. I did not get any duplicates. And I believe if you're looking for these, they're just, you know, the kids' meal item. Batman, Nightwing, kind of an older costume for Catwoman. But yeah, they're just fun little figures. Not really too much going on with them, but I just thought they were kind of neat for a kids' meal prize. You know, get yourself a cheeseburger, some fries, and then some fun little figurines. So just wanted to open those up. Obviously they don't warrant a full video, but they're fun. And yeah, check out Wendy's right now if you're looking for these. Kind of neat. So that's going to do it for my Retrocon 2023 haul. Definitely got some great stuff here. Held back a little bit, didn't want to spend too much, and in the long run, I think it's better I passed on that Royal Naboo cruiser. The price was fair, it was just a lot, and it's huge, and I have no idea where I would have put it, so definitely just kind of held back and got some great stuff here, but very happy to add it all to the collection. And if you guys are ever in the area, definitely check out Retrocon. It is in Oaks, PA, at the Greater Philly Expo Center, usually every September, sometimes it's in October. But they have a website. You can just Google Retrocon, or I think on Twitter they're at Retrocons with an S at the end. But yeah, definitely check it out. It's a good time. You know, you got the weekend, 2 days for the show, great guests, great selection of vintage and modern toys, and I just have a great time hanging out with friends every year. So I love it. Definitely check it out if you're ever in the area. But yeah, that's going to do it for this one. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. And as always, thanks so much for watching.